What is going on YouTube? Username Kite562 here, and I have a review of Beastars Volume 5. And as always, Beastars is written and illustrated by Paru Itagaki and published by Viz Media. Now, with this review, I'm just gonna try to keep it brief and as spoiler-free as possible, but there will be spoilers within this video. So anyway, let's get on with it. First off, thank you all for 7 subscribers, and it really means a lot, and it really means the world to me. So anyway, on with the review. So anyway, at the end of Volume 4 of Beastars, Haru gets kidnapped by the Shishigumi, or the Lion Mafia, whatever you want to call it. And it was just a really surprising event, and I was really looking forward to Volume 5. I've read up to Volume 11 of the manga. So yeah, it's been quite an enjoyable series so far. But anyway, on to my notes on Volume 5. So anyway, Haru gets kidnapped by the Shishigumi. Now, within the volume itself, it's a really brutal, quote-unquote, brutal scene in my opinion. And we see Haru having herself stripped down to almost nothing, but luckily that part gets skipped out a little bit within the manga, so got it right here for reference if I get mistaken or anything. But yeah, one of my favorite volumes in this series. Anyway, Haru gets kidnapped by the Shishigumi, and all in all, within the chapter itself, or scenes within this, it was just really brutal and really terrifying in my opinion. I mean, what would you do in her situation? I mean, she was forced to strip down to nothing, and the Shishigumi's boss's goons just treated her roughly like a piece of meat. And I really don't want to go into detail of it because I really don't want to spoil the experience for future readers. So please support the official release of Beastars, the manga. So yeah. Haru gets kidnapped by the Shishigumi. So, in doing so, Legoshi asked Louis for help. Now, within this scene, it just ends up being a bloodbath because we see Louis end up talking with the mayor of the town, Cherryton, whatever you want to call it. And he just passes it off as just another day, saying that these things just happen all the time. And so Louis tries to talk to the mayor, or the mayor tries to talk to Louis, vice versa. I really don't remember. I just recently reread Volume 5. So yeah, the mayor tries to talk to Louis, and the mayor, if Louis doesn't keep up his end of the bargain, he'll reveal or make his status of livestock go live again. And Louis can't really have that, so Louis is pretty much forced to succumb to society's quote-unquote normal staying, whatever you want to call it. So, and again, Louis, or Legoshi, tries to ask for help from Louis, but they just end up in a brutal fight, just left and right. Legoshi thought Louis liked Haru, and Legoshi just ends up punching Louis halfway across the field. Well, not literally, but he went flying, according to the manga. So, yeah. And it was just really surprising to see how well detailed that scene was, and it was just great. So, Louis was forced to make a deal with the mayor, and it was just really brutal. Just a good chunk of this volume was just brutal. But not like in a violent kind of sense per se, but just brutal society-wise, brutal and situation-wise. So, anyway, as this conversation between Louis and the mayor go on, he goes into really creepy details about his plastic surgeries, his many plastic surgeries. I really don't want to spoil it for new readers, but just how grotesque this mayor's face looks like. It just, okay. Imagine Chucky in Child's Play 3 when he gets his face partially sliced off. Just kind of stitching like that, and he just kind of looks like a cross between Frankenstein and Chucky, basically, in my opinion. So, just, the mayor's freaking nightmare fuel in that few panels of him. I mean, I'm not going to show it here, because, again, I really don't want to spoil these scenes for future readers. Anyway, number 6, or number 7, number 8. So, Legoshi tries to get information on the Shishigumi. Now, the Shishigumi is like a lion mafia. There's probably going to be more factions of these kind of criminal organizations throughout the series, so we don't know yet, but maybe, maybe not. I don't know if you've read the series or not, but hey, I've read up to volume 11. So, Legoshi almost gets killed and mugged by these thugs at the back alley market as he's trying to find information on the Shishigumi and Haru's whereabouts. And it's just really great that Gohin, the panda that we seen from volume 3, finally helps out Legoshi infiltrate the Shishigumi's headquarters. And it just goes from 0 to 60. At first, Legoshi is stopped by this guard person, security guard, Shishigumi, goon, whatever you want to call it. And the poor guy ends up getting his fucking ear blown off partially within the manga, so pardon for the language, it got blown the fuck off by him. But before all that went down, he tried to persuade Legoshi that he was the one who ate Haru, but as Legoshi's instincts were going further and further and further, he realizes he wasn't the one who ate Haru because Legoshi knows what Haru's blood smells like. So it was just a really impactful scene, and it just keeps the ball rolling again and again and again, and it's just great. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, both him and Gohin infiltrate the Shishigumi, and they just start pummeling the shit out of these guys, and it's just absolutely great. Just, man, let me tell you, I gotta get my notes out here, so if I get mistaken, I apologize. So apologies for me looking up and down at the screen. I'm trying to keep in focus with you all as much as I can. But all in all, this was a great chapter. So anyway, Haru and Legoshi infiltrate the Shishigumi headquarters. Oh, imagine that. But anyway, Gohin and Legoshi infiltrate the Shishigumi headquarters. So anyway, we see that Haru is still alive, even though that Shishigumi goon that I mentioned that held up Legoshi and got his ear blown the fuck off. Haru's alive, so yay for that. And she ends up standing her ground against the Shishigumi boss. Just before all that, she started writing her own will in her head, and it was just really wonderful because it's really all drawn out very well. The line work on the illustrations are just really fantastic. It's just, I could gush about this volume alone forever. So yeah, Haru stands her ground against the Shishigumi boss, and it's just really great. Just absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, point 11. Legoshi makes it to Haru in time and ends up in a bloody and brutal fight with the Shishigumi boss. Now, this is just absolutely phenomenal because Legoshi at this time is having an internal monologue, and then we see a flashback of him with Jack, and he's just trying to figure out why he was born a wolf. And during this fight with the Shishigumi boss, he realizes that these fangs aren't just for devouring prey. He can use these strengths that he was born with to protect herbivores. And it's just a really sweet and symbolic scene because as we see Legoshi dive in, we see all the glasses shatter around him. Almost looks like diamonds and everything. Is just absolutely gorgeous. Either read the manga or watch the anime on Netflix if you want. So yeah, it's just, these scenes were just really well illustrated and very great in my opinion. So he ends up saving Haru in time and is just absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, number 12, Louis ends up killing the Shishigumi boss by, again, shoving a fucking Glock in his mouth and pulling the fucking trigger. And I'm sorry for the foul language, but this video's not for kids, so keep that in mind. So anyway, Louis ends up shooting the Shishigumi boss here, and it's just brutal because he just ends up having a mental breakdown all of his lonesome, and it's just great because he just wants the rest of the group to just eat him and leave nothing but his horns, according to him, at least from what I remember from reading in the manga. Anyway, yeah, it was just, all in all, these big high pitch moments were just absolutely wonderful, phenomenal, whatever you want to call it. I have nothing but praise for this series. I've read up to volume 11, but anyway, focusing on volume 5, almost done here. So Louis kills the Shishigumi boss, and it's just brutal because he just ends up having a mental breakdown, almost like Joker or something. So it's just absolutely great. He ends up acknowledging he's number 4, livestock number 4. He just describes how he tastes. He's like sweet and tender and all that jazz. It's just, oh! So, but my point for number 13, and this is almost my final point, Haru and Legoshi end up at like a cross-species love hotel kind of place, and as they're trying to settle into the hotel itself, Legoshi tries to tell Haru who attacked her, but again, cliffhanger! Anyway, just look for my review of Volume 6, and let me just give you my overall thoughts of this chapter. First off, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Just absolutely great, absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot wait to tell you more about these Beastars reviews. But again, I thought I'd try a different format here, so apologies if this video seems all over the place. It's just, Volume 5 just really got me hyped. It really piped up the action. It really skimped away from all the character development, but all these characters mentioned within this volume is just absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, this is Kite562 signing out. Leave a comment, like this video, and if you want to see more content from this channel, be sure to hit that notification bell and just know when I'm going to be adding more content to my channel. But anyway, this is Kite562 signing out, and I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Later.